Well, Manappuram Finance is a stock in focus. Some recent announcements coming in terms of new acquisition on the cards for the company. Let's connect with VP Nandakumar, the chairman at Manappuram Finance, to understand more about growth plans going ahead. Mr. Nandakumar, thanks so much for joining in. First off, I wanted to ask you about this announcement that was made by your company, your intention to acquire Hyderabad-based NBFC. This is the Indian School Finance Company, ISFC. Now, this is an organization that has about 520 odd crore assets under management. Give us a sense of what the synergies are here.
So, Manappuram has interest in diversification from the original gold loan business. It has been diversifying. Over the next 5 to 10 years, Manappuram would like to see the non-gold portfolio grows to around 50%. So it is a continuous efforts from the side of the company to diversify, and Manappuram has interest in niche areas of business. Here in the India School Finance, it's a niche segment in the SME sector, lending up to 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs for building new schools, etc. So that business is a niche segment. This company, the management has that expertise to do that business. We have understood that, and they have demonstrated their capacity. They were starving for capital, and that now when Manappuram takes over the company, these issues will be resolved. Hopefully their rating will get upgraded by 2-3 notches, which will facilitate flow of debt into the company. Manappuram, it has got around 28%, over 28% as tier 1 capital, where the regulatory need is only 12%. So it can support this company with capital, and with Manappuram association with the lenders, it will be further smoother. That is the reason why.
All right. Will you be looking to fund this acquisition through your internal accruals, or do you have any plans to raise funds?
It will be through internal accruals. As I mentioned, already we are capitalized very well. So there is no need of bringing any money from outside. So the internal accruals are also good every year. Our distribution is almost below 30% of the profit. So there is sufficient accruals.
All right. So clearly, this is part of your plan to diversify, your business away from the gold loan segment. Are you seeing any other opportunities similarly in the education space, or would you be actively looking out for any opportunities in the rest of the fiscal?
Yes, we are already into home finance, affordable housing finance, that is affordable housing finance, and SME areas and commercial vehicle areas. If acquisition of portfolio or a company in this segment will further strengthen these businesses. So the other niche areas, anything coming across, we'll be keenly look into that.
All right. If I could ask you also for an update as far as Ashirvad, the microfinance goes, how has it performed in the first quarter?
The microfinance industry as such has turned around. The Ashirvad also has turned around. During the last quarter, they have reported profit last year. During the last quarter, they have reported profit. Now that is continuing. Now the recovery is back to almost 99.89%. So it is completely back to normality.
All right. And in terms of this new acquisition also, if I may ask, what is the sense in terms of contribution going ahead? When do you expect it to turn profitable?
This company has reported an ROE of around 7% during the last year. So this year they have projected a considerable increase in the ROE. So with the infusion, I think in another 3 years they have projected the ROE to be around 16 to 18%. We hope that the company can achieve that.
All right. And now that we have a sense of how the first quarter may have panned out, what has been the trend that you've seen in terms of overall disbursements and growth?
The performance of the last quarter will be continue during the first quarter. This is our expectation. Apart from that, the home finance, it is picking up. The NPL level is going down. The microfinance, it is completely back to normal. So overall, we see the first quarter and the coming quarters positive.
All right. There's also a lot of concern, at the moment, Mr. Nandakumar, about the rising rate of cost of funds. Of course, the interest rate environment is also on the rise. The liquidity picture isn't looking as strong as it was last year, for example. What is the sense that you have in terms of cost of funds going ahead? How much of an impact are you bracing yourself for the rest of the fiscal?
We hope that the cost of funds may go up by another 10-15 basis points. But for us, there will not be much increase. It is our average cost of funds now is around 8.7%. Why? Because we are retiring some high-cost debts which we have borrowed through NCDs 3 years, 4 years back. So our overall cost the most may go up by 10 more basis points. That's all.
All right. So about okay. So not expecting that much of pressure because of the kind of strategy that has been put in place by the company. But your cost of borrowing, then you are expecting pressure as we look ahead.
Our pricing of the product may more or less remain the same, but the increase in leverage will help us, and other cost reduction plans which the company has embarked upon will maintain our profitability.
All right, very quickly then, if we could just get a sense of what have certain metrics looked like in the first quarter, just trying to get an idea of how the beginning of the new fiscal has panned out in terms of collection efficiency, or what has been the picture, and asset quality as well, if you could give us a sense.
Asset quality overall will be improving. Our gold loan will be maintained. The asset quality will be maintained with a provision of around less than 0.5%. The other businesses, housing finance, the asset quality will be better than the last quarter. So, microfinance, it will be definitely back to normal. Commercial vehicle also will show an improvement in asset quality.
All right, we'll leave it at that. A pleasure speaking to you, Mr. Nandakumar. That's V.P. Nandakumar, Chairman at Manappuram Finance. A new acquisition lined up for the company. ISFC is the company that they are eyeing an 85% stake in. And of course, asset quality has been improving, although we are bracing ourselves for that increase in cost of funds going ahead. But let's put the focus back on the banking space. IDBI Bank, of course, that we've been talking about.